Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Palmisano here. Hope you're having a great day. Here's a video no one asked for, but I was thinking the other day I was running on the trail, and I was like, do the best guitar players, or my favorite guitar players, are they stage left or are they stage right? Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with what that means, you can think of stage left or right as what the performer sees. So you can think of stage as the opposite of what the audience sees. So if you're on stage, you're walking up, you're on stage left, you're going to be all the way across on the left. If you're stage right, you're going to be all the way on the right side of the stage looking out. If you're at the audience, obviously it's the opposite. If you're looking at the stage and you see someone on the right, that's stage left. So you can just think of it as the opposite. So I always preferred to be stage right because I always played in cover bands with a bunch of people I hadn't played with before, and I usually had to follow a singer or a guitar player that led the band who was in the center of the stage. And so I wanted to be able to see their hands and their fretboard because I didn't know what they were going to do, and I just had to learn 60 songs in a week, and I wanted to be able to cheat a little bit and see their fretboard. But the players I'm talking about are the people that wrote their own music that really had a preference on which side of the drums they wanted to be on. And that's the key thing to remember here, is a lot of these players may have sung and stood in the middle, but which side was their amplifier on? You'll find that people really have a strong preference, and with the exception of 3 people that I've found, there's almost no deviation whatsoever. So let's start with stage left. Number 1, Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machine. Always had that stack up, right? Eddie Van Halen, stage left. Dimebag, stage left. Tony Iommi, right? Stage left. You're always looking at the show, and he's on the right. Okay? Ozzy in the middle, he's on the right. Jimmy Page. Kirk Hammett, stage left. Andy Summers, stage left. Joe Perry, stage left. Eric Clapton, stage left, again, when he played with Cream. A lot of these people, again, Clapton goes out, he's in the center. A lot of them have the amps right in front of the drum risers, but more often than not, when that wasn't the case, he was stage left. Angus Young, now, even though he's everywhere, his amps are stage left, his brother stage right. Now, Jerry Garcia, on his later phase, he's one of these guys that switched. It's wild. He's one that you can find him stage left, as the band got older, but in the early days, he was very much stage right. Brian May, stage left. Robbie Krieger, Jerry Cantrell, John Frusciante, Slash, Joe Walsh, Richie Blackmore, Randy Rhoads, Zakk Wylde, Billy Gibbons, Pete Townsend, Kerry King, and on and on and on. So you might say to yourself, wow, that's like basically all of my guitar heroes. So what about stage right? Jimi Hendrix, Alex Lifeson, Adam Jones from Tool, David Gilmour, when he played in Pink Floyd. Think of the Live at Pompeii DVD. Trey Anastasio, John Mayer, when he's not doing his solo thing, right? When he's with Dead & Company, stage right. When you see him fill in with people, he's usually stage right. A lot of the stuff when he does the power trio, his amp, again, stage right. Because, Pino, stage left. Scratch that. Under further review, while I was editing this video, I was looking for images for all these players, and I found pictures of Mayer playing literally everywhere. A lot of times in the power trio, it's Steve Jordan on stage right, and Mayer in stage center, and Pino in stage left. So, cancel all the plans. Derek Trucks, stage right. Jimmy Herring, stage right. Again, early Jerry Garcia. Dwayne Allman, stage right, always next to his brother. James Hetfield, Now, Kirk Hammett obviously was on the other side, but Hetfield would always put his amps over by the bass. Mike Campbell, Johnny Winter, John Scofield, stage right. Here's a big one. The Edge from U2, stage right. Joe Satriani, Jake Sininger from Humphreys. Pete Anderson, a lot of the country players, stage right. Stevie Ray Vaughan, stage right. Again, he might sing in the middle, but where is the amplifier? Where is he feeling the power from? On which side of the drums? Stage right. George Harrison, stage right. Dave Mustaine, stage right. Jeff Hanneman from Slayer. Jeff Beck, stage right. Right? You kind of see here, it's pretty even. And it's interesting. I'm noticing a lot of like genre and era connections between the different sides. Now, one little note here. People I found that switched often. Now, there's obviously people some that start in the center all the time. Almost always had an amp in front of the drums. All the blues guys. B.B. King, Albert Collins, Mark Knopfler, Muddy Waters, Buddy Guy. Dickie Betts almost always had his amplifiers right in front of the drums, or they had two drums and right in the center. But check out these three that I found did both a lot. We already said one, Jerry Garcia. You can search all around, especially early stuff when he's playing the Strat. I mean, he's on this side. And then later, he pretty much settled into the other side. That is a strange thing as a guitar player. The more I looked at this list, I realized how many people didn't deviate. Albert King. You can find so many different videos of Albert King being stage left or stage right, sometimes singing in the middle, sometimes singing to the side, sometimes having his whole band on one side and him on the other. Wild. I think a lot of it had to do with his physicality, because he was huge, and he would stand behind that huge amp and just have everything else on the other side. And last but not least, Kurt Cobain. I watched a bunch of Nirvana videos and looked at images making this list. They're about even. I find it so wild, especially as a trio, to move. Like, it seems like such an ingrained part of your personality to be on a certain side of the drums, especially if you sing, right? So it's wild to me to have Jerry, Kurt, and Albert King have so many examples on either side. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Something to think about. What do you think? Do you play stage left? Do you play stage right? Why do you prefer one or the other? I told you why I preferred stage right. But, I think about it all the time. If I was in an original band, writing my own music, I could see myself switching to the other side. But when you do something for so long and you're used to feeling the electricity from one side of the drums, going to the other side, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Tell me what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe. And if you want to support the channel and you're looking for a community to help you keep this in your hands and keep you going, keep you learning, click the first link in the description. It's called Guitargate. It's my life's work and how all this is possible. Thanks. Have a great day. Cheers.